Hello, welcome to Nerd Variety. This is our show, and today I am joined by Hannah.
Hello.
And Josh.
What's up?
Yeah.
How's it going?
You interrupted me. And I am your host for today, Hayden.
Hello, Hayden.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello, Hayden.
I said hey. I said hey.
I was trying to do it in like the stereotypical, like it's an AA meeting kind of.
I get it.
All right.
Or you're in a class and everyone's introducing themselves. And
hi, Hayden.
Yeah. Anyways, today we thought it would be fun to do a personality test. Kind of, not necessarily, but kind of. Today we're talking about characters that we relate to. So when we were discussing this topic, of course, Josh was like, hey, take this personality test that will tell you exactly what you should talk about in the podcast.
Took it like 4 times. And then went to the website and took like all the other tests, and it's basically spent all my morning doing that.
I took it once.
So thanks.
And I didn't really pay a lot of attention to it because I think I was at work for sure. So I was just kind of moving sliders approximately where I thought maybe.
So as a quick insight into my personality, I like taking tests. Yeah. I always have. Even in school, I like it. I don't know.
Nerd.
No, every time there was the nerd or jock slider, I'm like 100% nerd. Just all the way.
That came up, and I was like, nerd, not even a little bit of jock.
I enjoy a good game of like ping pong, and tetherball and swimming. That's about it.
I was probably like left it on like 15%, 10%. Jock and everything, and most of it was nerd.
That sounds about right.
Like some physicality here and there.
Yeah. No, like I was even talking to my coworkers today. and just, trying to make conversation because a lot of my coworkers are sports people. So I was like, "Did you see the sports game this weekend?"
Yeah.
They played some sports ball.
Yeah, sports. Yeah.
They did the
scores.
Yeah. No, yeah. They're just like, don't listen to them.
Don't talk to us.
Yeah. But, so there's a lot of stuff to talk about. There's a lot of characters. Did you know that there are a lot of characters?
Characters, so many.
Yes. We may or may not talk about ones that everybody else is familiar with. I think I have actually, we came up with lists of like 3 to 5, and I came up with, I've narrowed it down to 3 if I need to, and out of those 3, you guys probably know one of them.
Cool.
So I will have to explain.
Made my list. I came up with 4 characters. And it turns out 3 of my characters I identify with are men, which I am slightly surprised by, but not that surprised, I guess. But yeah, just thought that was an interesting tidbit.
Yeah.
You?
Yeah.
I had mostly guys that I was, think that I was kind of off the top of my head. But when I took that test that we talked about, I did find that I was very similar to some of the ladies on it. So,
yeah.
So we'll see. We'll dig in. We'll touch upon that one.
I wonder if maybe I identify with more male characters because male characters are less stereotyped in general in the media.
Maybe generally I can see that.
More nuanced.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Yep.
I can see that.
I just like to turn everything into being like feminism. Like, we need better female representation. Get on it. But yeah.
We need better
representation of everything.
That's not just men.
Yeah. No, just as
I think we've seen a definite improvement in the last decade, but yeah, we still got a ways to go.
Still got some progress to make.
Oh yeah, for sure. But that actually brings me to my first character. If now, I don't know if this is either of your guys' kind of show, probably not. But I last night just finished the second season, which is all that's on Netflix now, all they've done actually so far, of the show Pose. And
do not know what that is.
I love it.
Never heard of it.
So much. It is. It's.
Can you give us a description of the show?
Yes. So it's set in like the late '80s, early '90s, in New York during like the ballroom scene. I don't know if either of you have seen or heard of Paris is Burning, but it's apparently like that. Basically, like that is a documentary, I believe. I haven't seen it. I have it downloaded because I'm gonna watch it. So it's like the and it's during like the AIDS crisis. So it's like all the gay characters or trans characters. There's a lot of trans characters in there. A lot of trans women actually. I don't think, at least no trans men that are. Really obviously there, so I assume they don't have them in the cast anywhere, or they would have made them better known, hopefully. But yeah, so I actually do not identify with, well, I kind of identify with the main character of the show. Her name is Blanca, and she's wonderful, I think.
So you identify with her how?
Well, she's
like wonderful.
No, I get what you're saying.
Hayden. I'm just like
this is my I have the talking
need some details.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I actually lost the talking stick. Oh. I found the talking stick. No, actually that was just nail clippers that I accidentally dropped on the floor. Yeah, no, she's very, like, she's very non-traditional, even in like the underground scene of the ballrooms and everything. And so like they have houses where basically like there's a mother, a woman who starts a house. There can also be fathers, I guess, but they don't really talk about them too much in the show. They kind of, but it's mostly mothers as far as I know. And again, they start these houses basically to take in other people and take care of other people that, you know, basically their families have kind of disowned them or whatever. They just don't keep in touch. So they do it, and she starts her own house in the first episode, and she's very nurturing but very strict and kind of all about get stuff done. I'm not necessarily like her in that way, in the being very strict about getting things done. I agree with her values, but I do feel like I am less traditional in many ways as she is, and I tend to, I don't know, I feel like I'm always, when I'm being real about something, I tend to want to support other people a lot more than I want to support myself. And that's just one thing that I really notice about her character, and I really love about her character, and I really feel like I identify with.
I feel like I should be like, thank you for sharing.
What, is this just
yeah.
You're really committed to this being
we see we see you and hear you.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you just took it
and are with you.
Like relatively
whatever they
deep.
say.
Yeah,
Okay.
right off the gate, right off the bat there. No,
well, this is a support group, right? This is support.
I mean, I don't know about that.
Not till 9. I mean.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be doing something else by then.
What kind of support groups do you go to that start at 9?
It's anonymous for a reason. No, I don't have to tell you
That
anything.
kind of support.
Insomniacs.
You have to show up.
So I'm really curious, Hayden, as to what your one is that you think we will know.
We'll get to.
Just tell me.
Do we want to stick them all together?
Just tell me. I just want to know. We don't need structure.
Okay. Fine. I'll move straight into it then.
Give us a name, and I wanna speculate as to whether I think you're like that person.
Okay.
I don't know. I have no idea.
You can go into yours. Emma.
Emma? Oh, from The Promised Neverland?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's not intelligence.
Thanks for that.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I've had way too much caffeine today. I'm all like, woo!
So Hannah's characters are jerks.
Yeah.
And bullies.
Let's see. Emma.
All right.
I can see a there's like an energetic. Definitely, it's the energy. Y'all do have similar energy.
Yeah. I
feel like there also might be an aspect of loyalty.
If you want to get somewhat into it, we can just do that one now for me.
Yeah.
I think it's because honestly, I've thought the least on her when creating this list, but yeah, I just remember watching it thinking, yeah, that seems like something I would do. I'll try to avoid spoilers for anyone who is watching the show or is interested but hasn't seen it. But I have a bad habit, or maybe it's a good habit, I don't know, depends, on being very trusting and forgiving of other people, even though I tend to not want to. I can't help but forgive people and just want to accept an apology and accept that someone is going to change and do better.
You're a little bit idealistic.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
And I always want to look out for other people first. Even though, again, I probably make a lot of comments towards other people that would suggest otherwise.
Yeah, I get it. I feel like I'm the same way. Also, did you guys know that 4 episodes of season 2 are out?
What?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I did see that it was one of the hot new animes of this year, or the trending animes of this year. I figured, but I didn't correlate that they released new episodes.
There might be more. I just pulled up Funimation really quick, and there's 4 episodes of season 2 on Funimation. So I don't know about like Crunchyroll or other places, but yeah, looking forward to that.
That's tempting.
Cool.
I have so many questions. I just finished it last night, so
it's so good.
my mind's still kind of reeling from all I think I watched like I watched the first half some months ago, and then I just watched the second half of the season yesterday. So
and I think we're planning on having a dedicated episode on Promised Neverland. I'm gonna have to try really hard not to give away spoilers because I've read most of the manga, and so no.
Just bring a pillow to cover your face.
Probably the equivalent of like 6 seasons worth of material. So. Yeah.
And maybe just wear a mask that episode just so we can't read your reactions.
Maybe.
Right.
So I was gonna mention a character I was wondering if you guys knew about.
Maybe.
My only female character on my list is Anne of Green Gables. Do you have any idea who that is?
Yeah, I actually remember reading some a couple of the books in school. I think I read them. Did I?
They're classic stories.
Yeah, a pioneer chick living in the plains, and there was the one about the bad winter, and that's all I remember. That's the one I remember actually, because just
Yeah, so
because I think I was more fascinated by the winter that was going on.
Yeah,
than
they're set generally in like the the like 1870s sort of is when they were set.
Mm.
And it's mostly about like her personality, because she is just super curious and wants to learn a lot of stuff, and is not afraid to, well, that's the one I'm working on, not afraid to stand up for herself, but just kind of constantly lives in like this fantasy world of her own imagining, and I'm like, yep, same. Like kind of has that overactive imagination. And definitely when I was younger, like I played a lot of imaginary games outside and stuff like that, and it was like, yeah, I get that, I feel that.
So, that adventurous, curious,
Yeah.
personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also like she's totally a romantic as well. She kind of starts off not being one, but ends up being a romantic. And I'm like, yeah, same. So just very imaginative and curious is kind of the main things I would say about her. But I was just always like, we'd be friends. We'd be best friends if we knew each other in real life. So, Josh, are most of yours characters you think we'll know, or like more random?
Oh yeah, you guys will definitely know who these people are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
Let's
Hannah,
see.
you're not doing 2?
No, whatever.
This is
I'm going to search out the window.
I'm gonna go with a community character to start off with.
See, I don't know that. I haven't watched that much Community. I've watched maybe 6 episodes.
You need to watch more, Hannah.
It's on my list.
Should I
Yeah.
assume you're talking about Abed?
You are wrong to assume that I'm talking about Abed. I'm of course talking about Troy.
That's racist.
Well, it's actually more of like when I was in Atlanta, people used to say, "Dude, you look like Childish Gambino. You look like Childish Gambino." It's like I do. I don't know. I didn't at the time. I didn't know who he was, and then I was told to watch Community, and I was like, I guess we look alike, but
I don't see it.
Weird, like if you want to cluster mix people together. Yeah. But as I watched the show and kind of got to watch his his transition from season 1 to I think when he leaves in season 5, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have the whole sports, we kind of differ on the whole sports thing, but we both have a very kind of silly kind of laid back personality. And I know I sometimes for some people I can seem very kind of quiet, in my head, kind of analytical, but I do, when I'm around my friends, as you guys have seen, I do have a kind of fun, goofy side. So I was like, yeah, I can identify with that.
I've never seen you around your friends.
Well, maybe we should hang out one day. I think that'd be a good. I think y'all should see, what I'm like, outside of the podcast, where I'm always, super official and very businesslike.
Right. Of course.
Yeah.
Total professionals, all of us.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Suit and tie all day.
Right. I'm not wearing pajama pants.
Who is?
Losers.
You guys are wearing pants.
God, I have a hard time seeing it. Because like when I think of Troy, I think not particularly smart. Definitely all about sports. Well, not all about sports. He definitely has a nerdy side, thanks to Abed.
Right.
He's very emotional.
I tend to bear it to, really like kind of bury my emotions or reserve them for specific times and places, but emphasizing the silly kind of, goofy, nerdy side of him. That's and when I can let myself be like that, then yeah, I was like, yeah, I can see myself kind of Troy.
So I'd like to jump in here because one of the things I found interesting about the quiz that Josh sent us was the fact that it had a little kind of disclaimer at the bottom that said, like, we think that like these are pretty good representations of the characters, right? We've had so ever many people rate the characters on all the things that we tested on, right? So it's like, is this character, are they a slob or are they neat, right? They had people rank the characters on those things. And they said, in general, the more people we have ranking them, the more accurate idea of the characters we'll get. Because when you just start talking to like a few people have very different ways of viewing a specific character.
Right.
Right. So you guys are talking about the same character, but Hayden views Troy as more of like, it sounds like more of a like goofy jock. Right. And Josh is kind of noticing this other side. And it's like both could be true.
Yeah.
And probably are. But perspective is a big deal.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I kind of wanted to go on that community, check the community universe on that quiz that we were talking about and see like.
Oh yeah.
See where I am on that.
Yeah. So it makes me wonder if you guys could figure out, and that's why I thought it was interesting to do the kind of, here's your character, why do you think I'm like this? So one of mine would be, I've for years have identified with Samwise Gamgee from Lord of the Rings.
I can see that.
Okay, but why?
I mean, I just get, well, for starters, I get definite Hobbit vibes from you.
That's fair. I am 100% a Hobbit. I'm like, I just want to be at home and drink my tea, and I'll reluctantly go on an adventure.
She's very.
But I'll be complaining the whole
too.
time. I'm not short. Shut up.
And you never want to wear shoes.
That's true. I also never want to wear shoes. I will reluctantly go on an adventure.
And you have
complain about not having tea the whole time, and I got big hairy feet. All true. All true. So, but why Sam specifically, or what any of the hobbits have done?
Well, and you're loyal.
Yes.
You're kind most of the time, except when talking to me.
I'm sorry. I love you.
Very supportive. And you're also you're good at, I guess, getting people on track. Hence the teacher, aspect of your, the teaching aspect of your job.
I didn't mean for this to end up being compliment Hannah time, but I'm not. I'm enjoying it. No, and to kind of take the same thing, but in like a slightly more negative tone, I've never viewed myself as like lead character material, if that makes any sense. Like I've always kind of viewed myself as like a supporting actor.
Yeah, don't really need the spotlight.
No. But like I'm here for you, and I will go on this journey with you.
Yeah, we'll get things done.
I'll freaking carry you up Mount Doom.
I'm sorry,
it'll happen.
I immediately thought of this when you said that. So far, out of the characters that we've all shared, you both, well, actually, I'm already blanking on your first one. What was your first character?
Anne of Green Gables.
Oh, well, she was kind of a main character.
She's basically
definitely a main character.
Yeah.
But no, like how you're saying, Samwise, who is definitely like a sidekick character, and a little less so. It's more nuanced. It's not so like Troy from Community. He's kind of a sidekick to Abed.
But both of your characters are main characters.
Yes, both of my characters are.
I noticed that too. Yeah, and another one I have on my list is Sokka from Avatar: The Last Airbender, who is in like the core group, but is not. You would not consider him the main character. Right. The main character would be Aang or Zuko, probably.
I consider like those four, like him, Katara, Sokka, Katara, Aang, and Zuko are the main characters.
But I feel like of those four, Sokka's still like the number 4.
Yeah, but I would still say they're main characters.
All right, fair enough.
All right. So why do you feel that way about that one?
Sokka?
Yeah.
I feel like I have super really good ideas like 10% of the time. And the other 90% of them are just awful. And and definitely like his reliance on science. It's interesting because I feel like I really feel like I'm a combination of Sokka and Katara, and they're like sort of these two opposite sides of me, where Katara is this really sort of emotional, nurturing kind of side. But she's also kind of all business most of the time. And I'm not really with that, but Sokka is more of this sort of analytical, goofball, idea man, and I identify with that side more of him. So like together the two are like I'm those two put together kind of.
You're the third sibling that no one talks about.
Yeah, I'm the middle child, which is why I have characteristics of both, and why no one cares about me.
Exactly, that makes perfect sense.
That's what being a middle child is like.
Yeah.
No, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
I feel it.
You get used to it. At a certain point, the anonymity is kind of nice.
Yeah, but you still want to be known for something.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I'm Patrick's favorite, so that's all I care about.
That's good. That's good.
I mean,
shut up. He tells me I'm his favorite all the time. Okay.
But you've been in a room with him and Josh.
That's true. Dang it.
Josh Glover.
Other Josh. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm at least his second favorite.
Yeah.
All right.
That's fine.
So, Josh, you've only given us one character so far. What else you got?
I got, well, years ago, I also feel like I identified with Dr. John Watson from Sherlock, and on that test, we were pretty similar. He's got a kind of a quiet demeanor, very he kind of takes the job of reeling in his friend, which I feel like I do that a lot with my friends. Like, okay, just come.
You're the voice of reason.
Exactly.
You're like, guys,
let's bring it down here. Let's kind of break it down here. But but my friends, I think a lot of my friends we all kind of think the same way, so we can talk about things and kind of be on the same page.
Yeah.
And just it's kind of I like the stoicism that he has. So yeah.
Cute.
Watson. What do y'all think?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm sorry, we're not moving that.
I don't feel like I have a great perspective on that one because I don't feel like you've ever had to talk me down. Because I'm a pretty chill person already. I tend to sort of self-analyze my own bad decisions and be like,
good.
bad decision.
Good.
So I don't feel like you play that role in my life, but I feel like I can see how you would be that for some other people.
I can see it. Yeah.
Generally reasonable and level-headed.
Yeah.
Level-headed.
Scientific,
exactly
but
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
not.
I think you're more fun than he is, though.
There goes there's a Troy aspect of it.
Yeah.
Y'all want another one of mine?
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm tossing up a couple of comic book characters that.
Oh gosh.
Just make sure you catch them.
You don't catch them?
Well, I'll ask. I have two.
If they're superheroes, they'll probably be fine if you don't catch them.
I'll see which one y'all feel like I'm. Well, depending on how much. Well, I don't think. Never mind. I don't think Hannah will. Okay, Captain America or Martian Manhunter.
I personally, I can see Martian Manhunter more.
I was thinking the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because again, there's kind of that. It's because Martian Manhunter, he's not like in the forefront, always pushing people about what to do. He's more analytical and figuring out what's happening and trying to be very logical about what's going on.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like Martian Manhunter more thinks about what he's gonna do before he does it. where I feel like Captain America is a little bit more emotionally driven and a little bit more impulsive.
Yeah,
That
Cap.
would be the biggest difference to me.
Yeah, Cap really feels like he has to take charge,
Mm-hmm.
and he ends up, doing exactly what to do and just going and doing it. Which I do like that. I do like that. And I like to feel like I, know what's right and wrong, and can speak up and voice, say, hey, that's not right. Let's not do that.
Yeah.
But also like feel like I'm kind of like Martian Manhunter, kind of a different I'm different. I can blend in if I want to. But I also like to kind of listen and wait and kind of, I try to read people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
Good choices.
And then I think Hayden, you had one more.
Yeah.
I have like another one that I really did want to mention, but I already did my 3, so I'm torn. But you go first.
Okay. So my last character. This is another one that you guys will not know.
Yay!
Because it's from a show that I talk about all the time, and you guys still will not watch.
Mm.
Can you guess the show?
Oh, BoJack Horseman.
Yes.
That's the one.
Yeah, the one
Now, I unfortunately, as much as I always deny this kind of thing, he's still in my top 5. Actually, I have 3 characters from BoJack Horseman that I could have talked about. But one that I think I feel more strongly than the other 2. BoJack was on my list, unfortunately, because there are too many aspects of his personality that I feel like I can identify with, which is not a good thing. But I'm steering away from him for now.
As long as you haven't tried every single drug there is.
This is true. Yes.
Yeah.
Now I identify with, and here I'm kind of coming down to your guys' level. It's a sidekick character, Todd.
Oh wow! So you're not always the main character.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Wow.
Even though the main character
You also
was
are,
in my
but
top 5.
So who's Todd?
Todd he's a lovable scamp, basically. He was he crashed on BoJack's couch for a long part of the show. He doesn't, for the most part, he doesn't really have a job, and he just kind of gets into these little situations all the time.
Shenanigans, hijinks.
Yeah.
Mischief is the word I was going to use.
Exactly. All of that is true. And he's kind of lazy, and things just happen for him. That I do not identify with. Things don't just happen, unfortunately. Sometimes, maybe, but yeah. But no, he is, and I feel like I'm just tooting my own horn with a bunch of this stuff. But no, he is very loyal. But after, and even with, like, there will be, I guess, some spoilers kind of, but even with as much as, like, BoJack has screwed him over through the course of the show, he's still, like, he recognizes when he needs to just maintain some distance from like toxic relationships, like with BoJack, and he knows he needs to be stern sometimes and be like, no, you need to get it together. You're not okay. Like, this is not acceptable. Yeah, but like, he's still, but he's still there to help his friend. He's still, like, in the very last episode, he comes over because BoJack has had a rough time with a bunch of stuff. He's finally sober for a while and everything, but he gets overwhelmed very easily. So, like, Todd sees him at this party, and like BoJack's kind of alone for a second, and Todd sees like there's a lot of alcohol around, and BoJack's starting to freak out, and he's just like, hey, you want to go? Let's go. I need you to take me to the beach and put me on your shoulders so I can watch the fireworks. And it's like, okay. And later he's out there. It's like, oh, hey, so why did you need to do this? Oh, well, you just looked very overwhelmed and I figured you needed a break. It's like, okay, thanks. Why are you on my shoulders? So I can see the fireworks better. All right, get off. It's that whole like being serious. And there's another part, I can't remember exactly the phrase, but it's like he has a balance of being, or he toes that line, I guess, of like, I can't tell if you're really smart or really stupid. And it's like, oh, that's about right. Yeah. So
My cat's like that.
that's what cats are.
I think we all have those. I think we all have those days.
Yeah.
Good list, y'all. Good list.
I like so want to give my last one, but I was the one who was like, we should limit it to 3, but I really wanted to.
And you always talk about me going on too.
I know.
Even though I feel like I probably elaborated the most on my character.
You did.
Yeah. Which was.
Do I get a second and a half one, or like?
No, this is why I identify with main characters.
But
I need all the attention.
But it's so important to me. It's really
Actually,
important.
It's not about you.
I'm actually not an attention hog in most places.
But I want to talk about it.
Okay, you got like 3 minutes. Well, less than that.
Okay.
Go.
So when I was a kid, right, everyone was obsessed with Harry Potter, right? And everyone had these conversations about like, which Harry Potter character are you? And I could never decide if I was Hermione or Luna, because I'm like, I'm smart and I like to study and I'm a little awkward, right? But then Luna is like really awkward, right? Like totally out there, crazy, right? And then the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them movies came out, and we were introduced to Newt Scamander, and I was like, that's me! I found it! Because I felt like he combined sort of like that bookish, nerdy side with Luna's kind of weird outcastiness, and also he's a Hufflepuff. And I was like, yes! Yeah. And he would rather spend time with animals than people, and I'm like, same, agreed. And I was like, yeah. So I was really excited after 15 years to be like, I found him. I found the character who I am.
And you know what? Speaking of Luna, I kind of identify with Luna a good bit, I think.
It's unsurprising to me.
Hermione was number 38 on my list on that quiz.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the character from Harry Potter I kept getting on the quiz every single time on the quiz. I got Arthur Weasley. I was like, all right, not sure what that means, but okay. No?
That doesn't surprise me. No, like you're curious, you're smart, and he's pretty smart, even though he's a bit aloof.
He's smart. He's just uninformed.
Yeah.
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 I want to know what the point of a rubber duck is. I don't understand.
No, what is the function of a rubber duck?
I was summarizing. Okay. Yeah. So.
Well, I had fun with this episode. I don't know.
Yeah.
It felt very self-indulgent to me.
It's funny because I do feel like, I don't know, like my perspective on y'all hasn't changed, but I feel like I understand your perspective on you better.
Yeah.
So I feel like Hayden views themselves as just like this outcast, like mischief maker, who's also a good friend though. I feel like is how I would summarize how I view Hayden's view of Hayden.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm very self-absorbed, it seems.
Yeah.
Egotistical. Not a word I thought of before.
Yep. So what's next? What's next week?
What is next week? That is a great question.
I know what's next week.
Oh, what is next week?
Next week, excuse me, I burped. Next week, apparently, is Josh leading us in a conversation about comic or manga updates.
Me? Josh?
Yeah. So what's been going on in the world of graphic novels recently?
Well, let me tell you.
Not next week. Next week.
Next week.
Oh, my sorry, my watch is fast.
All right. Until next time, nerd out.
Nerd out.